You call me Mr. Perfect.
Hey, Curt Hennig fans. Hello and welcome to another episode of Curt Hennig Was the Best, Change My Mind. I am your host, Steph. Today on our Perfect Podcast, we're going to watch along to Curt's match with Ric Flair round 2 or 3. This will probably be like round 4. But before we start, if you'd like to become a paid Patreon supporter like my paid Patreon supporter, Charlie Brown Politics, thank you very much, Charlie Brown. Please go and click the links in the description field. You can sign up for my wrestling Patreon for $1, $3, $5, and $10. Also, I will put in my Cash App so that you can also support me through Cash App. Um, and all links will be in the description field if you need them. Also, if you could please hit the links below, and you should be able to go onto my YouTube and Rumble channels. I have some great things coming up. I think that AI will allow me to, I mean, I don't think anything is copyrighted, but I do have a great theme song coming that I think I can use on YouTube, and I shouldn't get in trouble this time. So we'll see. But it's definitely a song about Kurt. It's something that I think he would enjoy one if he ever heard it, um, because he loved country music so much. So if you'd like to see that, it's going to be coming up here pretty soon. Like I said, I will need to make sure that YouTube is okay with it. I'm pretty sure they will be because it is AI generated. And as far as I know, nothing AI generated is copyrighted unless like a human put it in there. Um, Otherwise, if you would like to join me on Cash App or send support through Cash App, everything will be down in the description field. Also, I have 33 followers on Rumble, so if you'd like to head on over to Rumble, or if you are on Rumble, please share this with your friends and all your wrestling fans that you know, so that we can go ahead and grow that channel. I'd like to get as many followers as I can on Rumble. Also, you can follow me on Locals for free, or you can support me on Locals for $2. Otherwise, thank you for your support. No matter how you support me, if you can give, please do. Again, my Cash App will be down in the description field, so feel free to check that out, and please donate today. Thank you for support. All right, guys. I was going to take a hiatus, but I think that, just getting right back into the scheme of things is where I need to be. So I have been very, very busy, these past couple of weeks. Of course, we had Angel's birthday last week, and I gave my star ratings for Bash in Berlin. If you'd like to check that out, you can stop this podcast and go back to the original podcast. He is going to give me 25 or 26 and 27. As soon as he does that, though, I will go ahead and upload them as soon as possible. Okay. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to do a little bit of a switch up, not too much, but how we always do promos. This is technically a face to face, so it is kind of a promo for Kurt. He does it with the Texas Tornado, so this is, I believe, this is after SummerSlam 1990. And I just love how Sean Mooney goes, Mr. Perfect, we're on a family show. I mean, it's not like honestly, Sean, it's not like Kurt took his dick out and started waving it around. I mean, Kurt had class. Let's put that right to bed first, okay? That Kurt had a lot of class, and he definitely showed it. So, I love this promo because I love how Kurt kind of teases the Texas Tornado kind of in this promo, because I mean, he's like, like that. So I just love how he sort of teases the Texas Tornado, and you also get to see, I think, Kurt's funny side in this, because his witty side. So also, we are going to watch the opening of Nitro because Kurt actually does come out, and then we'll go right into the match. So probably gonna have a lot of editing to do, but we'll just roll with the punches, as they say. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Hope everyone can see that. Yeah, so it was a spotlight done after he lost the belt. Kurt lost the belt to Kerry in 1990 and SummerSlam 1990, and he's actually going to tell him, "I'm going to get the belt back, and I'm the best." Of course, Kurt would always say that he was perfect. So here we go.
Ripped off the Intercontinental Championship belt from the greatest athlete the World Wrestling Federation has ever seen. Now, that's got to be a plus to you. I'll give you that. I'll give you also that you look like a champion. You have the build, you have the looks. But to me, that's all you have is the looks. Because what I have is a lot more than looks. I have inside ability, natural ability. I don't wear silly things in my hair to make me look pretty. What you see with Mr. Perfect is what you get. No matter how you look at me, from top to bottom, if I take it all off, and I end up looking the same as when I came in, obviously, perfect. You got it?
You heard the comments.
Well, I'd like to say this perfect. You call it a fluke. And I beat you 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. Then all of a sudden you're coming out here calling yourself perfect. And what does that make me, huh? If I beat you, what does that
Texas
make me?
Tornado.
It's kind of obvious. Perfect, don't it?
Well, excuse me, gentlemen. I'd like to bring up the Survivor Series here. Let's cool it down a little bit. Talk about the.
He said he wants to slap all my teammates in the face. I'd like to see you slap the Warrior. I'd like to see you slap Legion of Doom. I'd like to see you slap me.
You're going to get your chance to get slapped. Sit down. You're going to get a chance to get slapped. In fact, why don't you give this to him, Mooney, so he can go home and try on a perfect suit? Because that's one thing you'll never be able to fill. I am Mr. Perfect. I am what I say I am. And that Intercontinental belt will be back in my hands when Bobby the Brain Heenan and Mr. Perfect to make a decision to go for it. It'll be there like that. Is that confident or not?
Mr. Perfect,
What?
when it's all over.
So basically, I really do like that one, just because it has so much um, of Kurt's wittiness. It was a great promo. I thought. I just think that um, you know uh, it just needed that little extra, and Kurt gave that little extra during that promo. So what did I think of this? Exactly what I thought of it. I thought Carrie was great. I definitely thought Kurt was great. Um, everything there was needed. I mean, especially because Kurt talked about the fact that it was a fluke. Carrie says, "Oh, I beat you fair and square." Yeah, but Kurt hit his head on the post. So I think it was great chemistry between these two, and I know that Kurt he couldn't talk more. Uh, he really put Carrie over in the one interview that we will see once I hit 100K. Right now I'm about 75,000. So once we hit a 100K, like I said, keep showing all your friends and stuff and keep sharing all this content on YouTube, and we'll get to 100K. And the chemistry between these two. But like I said, Kurt, he had nothing but great things to say about Carrie. He had a great body. He was a great wrestler. And then, of course, I hear on Jim Cornette that Carrie Von Erich had a prosthetic foot. And I'm like, how? Where? What? So I went back and I watched it. It does not look like he has one. And I know we were talking to Angel and he said that, "Oh, well, I'm going to go back and watch that match." And that's true. You should go back and watch the SummerSlam 1990 match between Mr. Perfect and the Texas Tornado. And tell me if it looks like Kerry has a prosthetic foot, because to me it doesn't look like it. But I mean, I know that people were saying in another interview that Kerry was in a lot of pain all the time, which is probably why he had a problem. Um, because Kerry had said to someone, I don't remember who he told this to, but it's not just in your, foot. It goes up your leg. The pain goes up your leg, goes up your back, that kind of thing. So, I kudos to Kerry for, wrestling like that, because, um, the Von Erichs are very well known and second generation, and of course, well respected in the business, just like Kurt was. Um, so yeah. Like I said, I like this interview because again, you had Mooney going, Mr. Perfect, this is a family show. I mean, like I said, it's not like Kurt took his dick out and started waving it at Carrie or anything. I the sheer childness of that is like, I mean, you expect that Mr. Perfect would be perfect, and this is no exception. So I think that Sean Mooney just kind of took that a little too literally, almost like Kurt was gonna get naked, but he wouldn't do that. So anyway, okay, so this next interview is from the babyface era. So Kurt turns babyface in 92. And this is, he did have a feud with Shawn Michaels in 93. He would go on to 3P at a house show, but he would not 3P at SummerSlam. So I actually did see that. Um, excuse me. Yeah, I was looking on X one day and I saw a match between Shawn Michaels and Kurt. And here it was a house show, and it literally was, I don't think it was ever aired. No one knew that Kurt 3P'd. So, but yeah, he actually won the belt, and there was two referees involved. It was a great match, and we will watch along to that. But this is just a promo, so it is Monday Night Raw, and Vince is going to interview Shawn Michaels, so Vince McMahon, and Vince is going to bring up Mr. Perfect, and Shawn is like, "Oh, you mean Grover?" Like, and from Sesame Street, who Grover lived in a trash can or whatever. So, because everyone will remember WrestleMania 9, where Shawn Michaels will throw Kurt, he'll dump a trash can and hit him with the trash can, and because Kurt was going after Lex Luger and Shawn Michaels had nothing to do with it, but it just seemed like he was going after Mr. Perfect for no reason, even though Kurt was actually going after Lex Luger, the narcissist. So, so this is a great interview too. So I'm going to go ahead, do that. Okay. So again, this is literally going to be an interview with Shawn and Vince McMahon, and then Kurt's going to come out and surprise Shawn.
At this time, the reigning Intercontinental Champion. Would you please welcome? There's no doubt that sooner or later your path was going to cross that of Mr. Perfect, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. Right here, next week, you defending the Intercontinental Championship against Hacksaw Jim Duggan. What possesses you to put the title on the line knowing that Mr. Perfect is breathing down your neck?
First of all, I want to tell you how sick and tired I am of having to come to this dump, New York City.
Don't go.
I mean, this place is like the armpit of the nation. Now, even my armpit isn't that bad. You know, I saw those same two guys on TV doing some kind of march in Washington. Huh? There you go, guys. Anyway.
Amazing that you would come out here and insult these wonderful fans in New York and all over the world that stand behind many of the superstars in the WWF. I guess maybe you're just not worthy of that.
You know, you see this, Vin Man? This is the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental title. I don't need anybody to stand behind me. I got this on my own. And speaking of Hacksaw Jim Duggan,
no, not real
the
life.
man who doesn't know if he's coming or going.
You only knew what he thinks of him.
Oh, shark, Mr. Mullen. You must
has nothing to do with.
It's an equal opportunity defender.
It has nothing to do with how sharp Sean is.
If you're short, fat, big, or tall, or in your case, ugly, as the day is long.
What they're doing is they're shouting, Sean is great.
They ain't shouting.
Sean is great.
Ain't shouting that.
You're ignoring this capacity crowd. Listen to him. How can you ignore him?
By it. Sean
These
is
people
Sean is gay.
absolutely nothing to me.
He's sweating.
Sean is
I
gay.
don't have time in my life for a bunch of
Sean is
losers
great.
like these
Sean
idiots.
is great.
All right, let's talk about Mr. Perfect. Let's talk about sort of the collision course there that you had with Mr. Perfect at WrestleMania. You will recall you and the narcissist Mr. Perfect.
Mr.
What a cheap shot in this attack by
Oh, you mean Grover?
Beg your pardon?
Grover. You mean Mr. Grover? The guy that lives in the trash can on Sesame Street?
No, that's Oscar
The guy
the
that I
Grouch.
put in
Okay.
the trash can?
Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect? I got news for you. Perfect. You.
Why don't you
I
tell it
gotta
to his
stay
face,
right.
Sean? Hello, Mr. Perfect.
Hey, I like it. That's right. We're going to have some fun now, Savage. He's in trouble now. Here, go for it. Oh, you were right. Perfect is in trouble. McMahon's bailing out. Perfect situation where Shawn Michaels doesn't want any part of Mr. Perfect. Everybody behind Perfect right now, Brain. Ooh, a cheap shot.
That was definitely a cheap shot. You better run now, Michaels.
Look at that. Get him, Perfect. Get him.
Perfect on that, then Shawn Michaels will be right back.
Okay, so yeah, that was a great interview, I thought. Again, it just goes to show you that the fans can be brutal, but Sean had a lot of heat, so, and that was good, because if he wanted to be a heel like he was, he'll need the heat to do that. So I'm my thoughts on this is I just love how the crowd shouts, Sean is gay. But then, of course, you have Bobby the Brain Heenan going, oh no, they're shouting, Sean is great. I went, I don't think that's great. And of course, he said something, they're shouting about how sharp Sean is. I'm like, I don't think this has anything to do with how sharp Shawn Michaels is. But he had that several times. He had that where literally the crowd, either at Raw or Superstars, would literally start screaming, Sean is gay. I don't know where that got started. I only remember that it happened on Raw most of the time. Sean is not in real life. He actually is married to a woman and has 2 girls, I believe. But that just it threw me through a loop that they would actually do that, and they did that back in '93. So remember, this is '93 at the time. So so this was right after WrestleMania 9, so it would be about April-ish And then in May, they would go on to have a little bit of a feud there. And then eventually things will progress to SummerSlam, where Kurt will get a chance at the title, but then, of course, Diesel will interfere. So I'm just going to take a 5-minute break, everyone. So I will catch you on the flip side. Okay, guys, and we're back. So, yeah, I just wanted to get some stuff ready, and of course, I wanted to also just get some things ready here. So this next one is literally also during 1993, and this will be during the Mr. Perfect and Shawn Michaels feud. This is like a face-to-face that they did, and I love it because I mean, Mr. Perfect just lets Shawn have it. I mean, literally lets him have it. Or he's just like, "Oh, really?" And then they get, Gene Okerlund into it. And it's kind of funny, but I love it because I love anything from 1993. So, let me share my screen again. Okay, here we go.
Joining me this week
And
face
play.
to face are the former Intercontinental Champion Shawn Michaels and his opponent on the big upcoming card here in town, Mr. Perfect. Shawn Michaels, the cat is kind of out of the bag, so to
Look, you
speak.
chrome dome sap. Would you stop calling me the former Intercontinental Champion? I'm getting sick of hearing that. And that guy, Mr. Perfect, is the man that's caused it all. He has been a
Marty
thorn
Jannetty.
in my side and now has ruined my career. I got news for you, Perfect. I got news for you, Jack.
Let's have it. What's the news?
I'm gonna be the Intercontinental Champion again. You can count on it, and I'll be it for a second time, just like you.
Oh, yeah, I was a 2-time Intercontinental Champion, too. So how does it feel, Sean? You got beat by Jannetty, and you can't handle it.
I
Look
didn't
at your
get beat
face.
by anybody.
Whoa,
It's your
whoa.
fault. Shut up, Okerlund. Can't you see I'm ranting here? Perfect. Somewhere down the line, I'm going to get you, and you're going to pay for this. And Okerlund, if you don't shut up, you're
Well,
going
I'm
to
sure
pay.
Mr.
Hey, why
Perfect
are
is
you jumping on
shaking.
my case, Michaels?
Because you're talking, that's why. Stop
Well,
jacking your
because
jaw.
I
Let
am
me
speaking
finish.
for the fans of this area. Please don't insult our
Oh,
intelligence.
please. You got no intelligence to insult. I'm the man, and soon everybody's going to find out that I am the man.
You know, if I can interrupt you,
That
Mr.
didn't make any
Perfect,
sense, Sean.
this is the kind of mentality
I'm the
you have
man,
to
and
deal
soon
with when
everyone's
you
gonna
get
find
into the
out
ring.
I'm the
This man
man.
is stubborn, but also he is a very
What?
capable wrestler.
Oh, he's a great wrestler.
That's
He's
right,
got all the
that's right.
qualifications.
Hey,
Shut up,
I mean,
Michaels.
you're made of the right
Michaels,
stuff.
pull it.
But have I gotten under your skin or something a little bit, Sean?
don't you stop.
Boy
I'm
Toy,
so
Boy
sick of
George,
you.
whatever you are.
You're under my skin, all right. You're making my skin crawl. You're driving me crazy.
Yeah, and that's
Would
exactly
you
what
just
the plan is
leave me
supposed to go
alone
like.
and
I'll
get
tell
out
you
of my
what,
life?
Michaels, you couldn't beat me on your best day because I am what I say I am. And that's perfect. I'm perfect, and you're
They're
not.
not.
That's the bottom line.
What about that, Michaels?
Oh, there you go. What about that, Shawn Michaels? What about it?
Well,
I don't want to be Mr. Perfect. I'm Shawn Michaels. And I
Because
got
they
news for
beat
you.
that.
I said it once. I'll say it 1,000
Thank you,
times.
baby, Michael.
I'll have
Thank
my
you,
day.
gentlemen. I'm only...
Yeah, about that. I love it. I absolutely loved it. This this face to face was, I would say, almost legendary because again, Mr. Perfect lets him have it. And Shawn Michaels, being the good heel that he should be, literally almost sort of gives it back to Mr. Perfect. Um like they're bouncing off of each other, or they're feet, bouncing off of each other, but like not ideas, but they're sort of like well, let's go over it, shall we? First of all, I don't know, Kurt couldn't keep a straight face through much of this, and that's fine. I think he just um I don't know if he just didn't take Michael seriously. Um I mean, Shawn Michaels was still getting over the whole Marty Jannetty thing. On Raw, we can do that match where I mean, not a match, but like it's not Kurt's match, but we could do like Kurt's match because I think he had one on Raw. And then he went and got his street clothes on and comes out during the Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty and interferes. And of course, Shawn Michaels will lose the belt. So it is chef's kiss from me because I love this. I mean, like literally, I love it. He's like, boy, toy, boy, George, whatever they call you. Yes, it was great. It was a great promo from Kurt. I really liked it. And of course, they bleeped Shawn Michaels. Um, I don't even know what what Shawn Michaels said there, and it's a good thing I sort of read his lips, but I don't really want to know what he said there. But I just thought that was funny that they bleeped Shawn, but Kurt I'm sure wanted to swear at the time too. But it was a very good back and forth, I thought. You just have to kind of like one point Shawn goes, I'm the man, and soon everyone's gonna know I'm the man. I'm like, that didn't make any sense. What the hell did he just say? Oh my gosh. I think Shawn might have forgotten where he was going with that. I'm the man, and soon everyone's gonna know I'm the man. Man of what? I think maybe that's why Kurt was laughing at him because he kind of like went, I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say anyway. So it's almost like Shawn like just forgot what he was about to say and just kind of made something else up. Not a good improviser. And I think maybe that's why Kurt was kind of laughing at it. I would be laughing at it too. I'd be like, Shawn, you screwed up. You want to do that again? Take two. Okay. But I mean, remember, guys, these are professionals who, I was telling my man earlier that, you know, Bobby Heenan said that he learned how to do promos by shaving and looking at himself in the mirror. I'm sure a lot of these guys practice that, in the mirror. And I mean, I don't know how Kurt practiced it. Maybe he did the same thing, like while he was shaving in the mirror and he would talk like, Bobby said, you talk to yourself in the mirror. So, how you talk to yourself in the mirror is how you're going to talk to the fans and talk to the wrestlers and stuff. So yeah, so it was literally Bobby Heenan who literally came up with the, oh yeah, I did promos by talking to myself into the mirror. And that's fine. If that makes you feel more comfortable when you're doing it. Of course, Kurt always looked he looked exactly comfortable with everything he did because he was perfect. Let's be honest, okay? Okay, so this last one, I probably will not share on YouTube because it does have music in the background. It probably is copyright music, so I definitely probably won't be able to show it, or at least you won't hear it. So for you on YouTube, you will skip right to the talking afterwards, or a match or whatever. If I not a match, but we're gonna watch the beginning of Nitro. So you will only hear the talking afterwards. You will not hear this promo. For you on Rumble, you guys will watch it in its entirety. And so we'll watch along together. And this is the NWO not parodies. No, this is an NWO promo that Kurt did right before he did it right before Halloween Havoc. 97. I love this promo, and I know it is in the audio version is in another episode, but I think you guys should see the video as well. For everyone on YouTube, you guys will only hear you won't hear this at all because again, it has music in the background. But if you do want to head over to Rumble and see the video and the audio, you're more than welcome to. So this is just like I said, it's right before Halloween Havoc. Kurt was gonna face Ric Flair in a match, and he was the U.S. champ. I just love his when he says always. He says always. It's that hot Minnesota accent. I'm telling you, listen for it. You can hear it. It's like always. Like, oh, that's that Minnesota accent coming out. But I love his accent, and I'm sure Kurt would go, "What accent? I don't have an accent." I I love it, and just the and you could hear the hard R's in his speech. So like when he would say R, it was kind of like R, like a really hard R. And that was his accent. So it was a Minnesota accent right there. So we're gonna stop sharing there, and I will be done with those. Just give me a 5-minute break, and then I will catch you guys. Okay, guys, we're back. So I just want to say a few things about the NWO promo that we just saw. If you're on Rumble, if you are on YouTube, you did not hear it, so you can just disregard this audio. But again, what you heard if you are on Rumble is that always. I just love how he pronounces stuff. And like I said, that's that hot Minnesota accent coming out. I love it. NWO. NWO. I really do enjoy listening to him talk. Of course, Curt had the greatest accent in the world. And he probably, like I said, he would probably go, I don't have an accent. Knowing him, right? So what we're gonna see next is basically the opening of Nitro. They're gonna have several people there, people from Japan, representing the NWO in Japan. So we're gonna watch along to that, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to Curt's match. So let me one more time. We're gonna share the screen. Okay. So for those who are on the audio version only, it's WCW Monday Nitro Season 3, Episode 50, and it's December 15th, 1997. I'm 3 minutes and 11 seconds in. Now, for those on YouTube, you guys will not hear the music audio. You will only hear the talking. For everyone on Rumble, you will get to hear and see everything. But on YouTube, you will only hear the audio, but you will hear no music. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play.
The NWO, and one man who I personally called a coward this weekend on WCW Saturday night is Eric Bischoff, who also, in a matter of 13 days, must step in the ring with this man. They came out laughing and smiling, but once they got to the ring... Shut up! Are you talking to me? Once they got to the ring, it all changed.
I think he's talking to everybody.
Out there. They don't know where he is. They don't know where the real Sting is, and that's what we want. All right? No Stinger anywhere. Hey, settle down, will you? We've got some business to take care of here. People are driving me nuts.
That's a short trip for you, Bischoff.
Before we go any further, Chano-san decided to come to Charlotte tonight. Ogenki desu ka, Chano-san? Say something to all the fine folks here in Charlotte.
Get the Charlotte!
How about you say it in English?
He knows.
Well, we don't understand Japanese.
We want to say hi to Kevin Nash getting ready to
I love the
to
look
the
on Kurt's
world
face. Like, yeah, everyone understood that.
who the giant really is. I can't wait.
And of course, Rick is right beside him, so you know those two are up to no good, right?
Not the least of which Hollywood, I know
Him and
you
Rick
got a
were
lot
two
to say.
pieces in a pod.
Curt Hennig,
And always
there's a
up to
man
no
from here in
good.
Charlotte that, well, my buddy Bresloff in Vegas says you're an odds-on favorite to put him out again.
Some people say that Charlotte, North Carolina is Ric Flair country.
No. Boo.
Set him straight.
We hate Ric Flair.
Well, that may be true, but this United States Championship makes Curt Hennig the man, along with the NWO.
No doubt.
Now, on December 28th in D.C., Ric Flair, you're going to climb inside a steel cage with the greatest athlete the NWO has ever produced. And this is going to be on the line. And I just want everybody in the world to make sure they watch this, because history will be made because Ric Flair will be retired after the 28th of December. No more Ric Flair.
Well, unfortunately, that cage match never happened.
But Hollywood, well, you know, boss, you can tell that Hollywood's in the house because NWO brothers, you don't have to look under the ring. You don't have to look in the sky because Sting, Charlotte's hero, is a coward. And he would never come out here face to face and come after Hollywood. And before I came out here, I looked in the mirror and I realized
You looked in the mirror and okay.
Smaller because he certainly wouldn't come out here now. But the way Sting snuck up behind all the brotherhood of the NWO, the way he sneak attacked us behind our back, there's concern. And I'm going to search every crevice in this stinking building. And if I find the Stinger anywhere around tonight, if he's hiding in any corner, I'm going to bring him out here and I'm going to make sure that Sting is stung. And I'll do that tonight.
You heard it from the heavyweight champion of the world, Hollywood Hogan. Give it up for the man.
Sorry, no. For a second. So what I'm going to say about this is basically this was so they had planned what they had planned to do at Starccade 97 was have a steel cage match between Curt Hennig and Ric Flair. Of course, that would not happen. And I think it's because Bischoff had said that Flair had a lot of personal problems. And he also had a hurt ankle, I think an injured ankle. So it would eventually become DDP would take over for Ric Flair. Excuse me. Just 1 second, guys. So DDP will take over for Ric Flair at Starccade instead of Kurt versus Ric Flair round 3 or 4 or whatever. So on the pay-per-views it would be like round 3, okay, steel cage. I often wonder what would have happened if it actually was Kurt versus Ric Flair in a steel cage. I've never, knock on wood, seen Kurt in a steel cage match. I mean, except for maybe War Games. But then again, that was the turn to the NWO. So he didn't really wrestle very long. And then when he did, he was, taking out Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen. So an interesting, lineup there. I do like the promo he ran on Ric Flair. And then of course, the whole, you're gonna get to see me in a steel cage with Ric Flair, which again I wish would have happened because I think that they would have maybe kept the belt on Kurt, but then again, Flair was having personal problems. And of course I heard that from Bischoff when they did their episode of Curt Hennig. And if you want to check that out, it's 83 weeks. They did do an episode on Curt Hennig. And there's a lot of information in there, especially like about, Eric's stint in the AWA, of course, and of course with Eric and the when he goes to WCW. And then there's all these kind of rumors where like, oh, well, what would have happened if Kurt had gone in 1993? And Bischoff's like, I wasn't even talking to him then. So I'm not sure where those rumors started, but I guess because a lot of people wondered why Kurt was sort of out of it and in it, out of it, in it. He went back to WrestleMania 10 and he would go on to screw over Lex Luger at WrestleMania 10, and then he would disappear and come back at the end of 95 and then stay till commentating not till 96, and then he would eventually go on to WCW. And a lot of people, I guess, figured that Kurt would probably go to, WCW. But I don't think Kurt ever went into WCW until 1997 when he actually had that deal with Eric Bischoff. And again, that could be why some of the concerns that Kurt had. Eric Bischoff did admit that Kurt went in there with his dad. They had a meeting together. Him and his dad had a meeting. And Larry was there to kind of make sure that Bischoff wasn't going to screw his son out of, the things that he deserved. Though I wish Larry had been there the whole time, because Bischoff, with with everything that happened, Bischoff didn't keep any of the promises. Now, I don't know what the promises was, but I do know that Kurt would end up never being the world champion, but he will become the tag team. So him and Barry Windham would eventually have the tag team belts. But again, Kurt deserved that world title because he was better than Hogan. And of course, it will always be Hogan to act someone's, talent, because again, it goes back to the rap is crap stuff. So the rap is crap was very popular. It was growing in momentum. And literally Hogan said, well, I can't follow that. So he axed it because he knows Kurt had talent and he knows Kurt was a greater wrestler. He was the better wrestler. Not only because he was second generation, but because Kurt had talent. Kurt lived and breathed this business, guys. He was second generation. He grew up in the business. He knew what he was doing in the business. Hogan didn't care. Hogan only cared about the dollar signs. He only cared about the money that he made. So when he saw Kurt was overshadowing him, of course, he's jealous. He was jealous of Kurt and had always been jealous of Kurt. That's why he axed his push during the 1989 time, where he was like at the end of 1989 and the beginning of 1990. Hogan said, no, Kurt's not in my league. No, he's beyond your league, Hogan. He's beyond your league. You are not perfect. Now, everyone knows that Mr. Perfect was just a gimmick, but I mean, the thing is, Hogan didn't have half the talent in the wrestling business that Kurt did. Kurt had the charisma, he had the talent, he knew the moves inside and out. Curt Hennig could do wrestling moves in his sleep, for heaven's sake. I mean, this man knew the business backwards, forwards, upside down, and backwards. He knew everything because he grew up in the business. And you can tell the second generation guys were very well schooled in the business of wrestling. And so when it comes to that, Hogan, of course, would be jealous. You almost would have to be. Here's Kurt, this charismatic, great guy, and he was very polite. He's very polite. Kurt was a very stand-up, gentle man. He was a gentleman. And Hogan couldn't take it. Hogan hated everything about the fact that Kurt had more talent than him and literally could out-wrestle him anytime he wrestled him. Hogan only made money. He put asses in seats, but so could Kurt. Kurt did it in AWA. He did it in Portland. People who don't understand and have jealousy for Kurt as well will say, well, he wasn't putting asses in seats. That's horseshit. Kurt could put asses in seats. He could do that blindfolded. And all he had to do was get the right talent. But if you go back and look at those matches with Hogan, and we will go over them. But if you go back and look at those matches with Hogan, trust me, Kurt carried most of that match. And he made Hogan look like $1 million. I don't feel sorry for Hogan because, again, he had a chance to make himself a legitimate wrestler in this business. And instead, he decided to wreck other people's careers, hold them down, or not give them the push that they needed. Hogan is a liar. as everyone can see. In fact, I just saw on X today that he's saying about talking smack about Bret Hart. I'm sure he asked the push with Bret too. In fact, I know Hogan asked a feud with Bret. Again, saying that Bret was not in his league. Hogan, you are not in anyone's league. Because everyone could beat you if it were a fair fight and a real fight. Terry Bollea is not a fighter. He is literally a pussy. Because when it comes down to a real fight, would you really want to fight with Mr. Perfect? A guy who literally made Steven Seagal get on his knees because because he squeezed his arm. Steven Seagal should be lucky that Kurt didn't beat the shit out of him on purpose. Kurt is such a gentle man and he's a gentle soul. He would never do anything that would, you know, hurt somebody on purpose. And that's the kind of man that Kurt was. And I wish we had Kurt here today. Because I would love to ask him, his feelings on the whole Hogan thing, especially going after Bret. When Hogan is a big liar and everybody knows Hogan lies. Not to mention, Kurt admitted that someone with blonde hair said, "I can't follow that, brother." And so they ended it. The West Texas Rednecks was for less than 3 months because they were gaining momentum and getting stardom. And Hogan couldn't handle it because he don't have half the talent that Kurt had. And he never will. And so he was jealous. Just like I said on Pro Wrestling Talk. Hogan was always jealous of both Bret Hart and Curt Hennig. And that's because Hogan is a piece of shit. That dude couldn't live up to anything. He didn't have half the charisma that Kurt did. Or Bret. And when it comes right down to it, he literally was jealous of both of them. All right. That's my rant for the day. I'm going to take a 5-minute break and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Okay, guys, and we're back. All right, so we are definitely going to watch along to this match. Give me 1 second. Okay, so what you're going to see here is, again, for those who are listening to the audio, I will be starting at 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds, though there is music here, so you probably won't hear it until they stop the music and start talking again. Right now, we're at a promo of where DDP got spray painted by the NWO. Again, this was near Starccade, so he was still having a feud with Savage, so to speak. But again, when Ric Flair is injured, they move DDP to have a feud with Kurt, or at least have a feud to, take the belt off of Kurt at Starccade. Because it will be DDP versus Curt Hennig. Now, I would like to do, like I said, the Hog Wild match, and we will be doing that soon. I want to do another match that I saw on Saturday night's main event the other day. It was Kurt and Coco. So that will be next.
Yeah, take another survey.
Let me tell you and the whole world one thing right now. That I am truly too good to be true. That's beside the point. Because the gold I wear around my waist is something that belongs to me because I am what I am. And what I am is the best.
The best to ever live, Kurt.
And there's nobody sitting in this crowd I don't care if you're a weightlifter. I don't care if you're a football player. I don't care if you're any kind of athlete. I'll take on the challenge. Ric Flair, well, bring it on then. I dare you.
Well, the fans want to see it, don't they? And that goes without
Ric
saying.
Flair, 13 title.
What in the wrong town, wrong venue?
He has to get heat,
Flair, you
Shivani.
don't want to wait
It's
to
called-
help me out tonight. And tonight, I feel like dancing all night and dance a little longer because I can, Flair. I'm bigger, I'm better, and I'm a
Definitely
whole lot
better
cooler.
and cooler.
Well, I guess the challenge has been accepted. Wouldn't you guys think so?
I think it's set. U.S. title at stake. Flair against Hennig. Home field advantage for the Nature Boy.
Do you see this
Mhm.
belt around my waist? This belt represents that I am the United States heavyweight champion.
Yes.
And no matter what anybody says or thinks.
How about when Curt Hennig double-crossed Arn Anderson in the Horseman?
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. We see out. Yeah, the troops are here. This is, oh, hello. That back kick will get you every time.
The Nature Boy is home. He's home in Charlotte, and he's taking on the NWO all by his lonesome.
Savage and Bagwell also in the ring along with, oh, here comes Scott Norton, Vincent, and Conan.
There's just too many of them. This Norton's going to glom Flair.
This is another NWO setup. There was no, you knew Hennig would not talk the way he talked about Flair in this town had they not had a plan.
And Hennig just used his favorite weapon, that U.S. title belt, right to the head of Flair.
And don't forget what they're doing to Ric Flair right now. They're really going to do it because they're doing it to him in his backyard. Matter of fact,
oh, they go down on that same leg.
They're doing it to him in his front yard. They're doing it to him in his living room right now.
They are trying. They're going to the leg again. The same leg that he injured.
Oh, he's going to do a figure four on it.
Figure four.
Hennig applies Flair's own figure four. Here comes DDP.
Diamond Dallas Page coming out to help Ric Flair. And Diamond Dallas Page is knocking everybody down.
Steiner Brothers are out as well.
How about this?
WCW is here.
WCW has risen up, has come back as a unit to help the former 13.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like the Steiner brothers.
DDP and the Steiners.
And Page
It wasn't much for the Steiner brothers.
And Lex Luger's out too. Page wants a piece of Hennig. Page is doing this.
And this is where Starccade will be Kurt versus DDP.
For a minute, there were 10, 20 of them in the ring. Now there's not a sign of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know, obviously, how severe the injury is. But you can see the pain on the face of
want
Ric
my
Flair.
belt.
We do know that WCW has banded together to ward off this NWO cowardly attack.
Wah, wah, wah.
Hennig was screaming for his U.S. title belt. Flair scheduled for a cage against Hennig here 13 days. The jury right now, I have to say.
No, they weren't.
And don't forget, a short time back in World War III when Flair hurt that ankle, and they know all about it.
DDP says, Hennig, if you want that belt, come and get it.
Hey, look at him holding it back. Let him go. Come on down here.
They don't want to let him go, and he don't want to be let go of.
Fan,
Yes,
this
he
has been a
does.
Big night on many fronts.
He would
Let
beat
me
the
also
crap out of
say
DDP.
Very briefly, that
Just
as
like he
this
did in
Blue
other
Squad came
matches.
out, and that's all they are. I did not see Bret the Hitman Hart. And if you combine that with the word said earlier, I read into that what you will.
They're carrying him
But
like
right
he's
now,
some
Ric
kind of
Flair
savior.
is in serious pain.
Disgusting.
Right now, Ric Flair has to be carried out by WCW members. Ric Flair obviously cannot walk on this leg.
A lot of people. Yeah.
He's severely hurt, guys.
That's the same ankle that Flair hurt,
Yeah.
I believe, at World War III.
Oh, my bleeds for him.
Pretty good right now. Hennig! Hey, Hennig! How you feeling, boy?
He's feeling pretty good, DDP. How about your stupid self?
I got a spot right here for you, Hennig.
I'm sure you got a spot for you, too.
It's when you mess with the whole NWO. You mess with us for life. Now, that was an example of what happens when you mess with Hollywood and the Brotherhood. Now, if your hero, Sting, is so darn great, why wasn't he out here to save the peasants? If your hero,
Peasants?
Sting, is
Look who
so
you calling
God
peasants,
almighty,
Hogan.
how come he didn't come out here to face Hollywood during my greatest moments?
Yeah, Sting's in
And
the
just like I said
rafters.
before, Sting is a coward.
Oh, I don't like lights out.
There he is.
He's in the spotlight.
That's just I think that's just a mannequin. I don't think that's a real Sting.
I don't hear the NWO talking right now.
Let's just watch our own backs right now. That's it. I saw you up there. Get out here. Get him out here. Stay. No mind games. You and me. We know you're in the building. Show us you're a bigger coward than we even imagined. Hey.
Yeah! The lights go out again.
You don't have to tell me that.
I know, but does anyone see? You know, the spotlight was high.
Okay.
Above.
I'm gonna go.
You stay here, Eden.
Turn the lights on. This ain't no fun no more. Okay, you coward. Where is he? Where's he at?
Look on
I know
top.
you're hiding him. Where is he?
Look on top of the entryway.
Hey, look what he's standing over. WCW.
It says it
Where's
all.
the coward now?
Yeah, it says it all. He
That
should have
says
stayed
it
mute.
all right there. There's the leader of WCW. Come on, Sting. Get a load of that, Hogan.
What
Come
a
on.
picture.
Get in here. A picture's worth a million words. I'm not gonna wait till the 28th. It's not fun anymore. Get in here. Get in here.
Wasn't meant to be fun.
Get in here, Sting. You coward. I think you're watching the last year of the NWO. Hogan's you're a lucky himself. Man, Sting.
Look at that's an eerie sight, guys. Not moving.
Oh, he's moving. You can tell he's breathing.
Another day for you, my man. We can see that you fear Hollywood. We can see. I'm down here.
I don't know what Curt said to those fans.
We're all here together. You don't want none of this.
Fans,
Come on, Stinger.
Here he comes.
Yeah, come on, Sting.
He's going to the ring.
Okay, we're gonna stop sharing. And so I want to go over this a little bit. What can I say about I mean, it really wasn't a match, guys. In all honesty, it was more like a showman thing where, like, literally they just took Flair out there. Flair did a couple of things, and like I said, I do think he was injured. I'm not sure how injured he was, or if that was just just for show. But I do know that it will become DDP versus Curt Hennig for the U.S. title at Starccade, and of course DDP will go on to win it. So pretty much that's all I wanted to show for today. Again, I wasn't much for DDP. So if you heard me talking to him, not talking to him, but talking to the recording, I just wasn't a big DDP fan. I also wasn't a big Sting fan. I if anyone should have stayed mute, I thought it should have been Sting. I wasn't all for the whole Crow getup thing that, even though he was against Hogan at Starccade, I just think that I just wasn't really a big Sting fan. So I always say like someone who should have stayed mute but wasn't. Okay, so I'm gonna have to edit a little bit there because my father came in and I had to kind of pause the recording very quickly, and then as soon as I got to a certain point, I actually got back on. So Rumble guys, there will be a little bit of edit, but for you YouTube guys, you will not hear pretty much any of that except for like maybe a couple of minutes in between. I'm not sure. But yeah, like you may hear Curt talking and then like a few seconds in between of when Flair comes out and stuff. So but unfortunately, because the music is also copyrighted, I'm gonna have to take it out. But so I do apologize there. My dad had come in because he wanted to tell me something. So I will have to edit a little bit, not too much. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you very much for being with us and watching along to this. Next week, we're going to watch along to the NWO Takeover. I believe, or no, I'm sorry, not next week. The week after, we'll do the NWO Takeover. And then, of course, Curt has a match with Disco Inferno. I honestly think that this was just like a warm-up match. This is a match right before he would end up losing the US title to DDP at Starccade. So I think that they were just kind of, here, Curt, you can have a warm-up match, so to speak. But we are going to watch where the NWO takes over because Rick Rude is in there. Also, I do want to let people know that I will be doing some more Rick Rude stuff. I'm thinking about doing the super pose down because I don't think we did that. And we might have talked about it in Rick's, when I did an episode about Rick Rude. But I think we should definitely watch along to it. Because like I said, guys, I'm very partial. I'm very biased. And like I said, the person I think won that superpose down wasn't even in it. It was Curt Hennig. But again, I'm biased. um, Curt was saying there how, I'm the best that, the NWO has ever produced. Curt, you were the greatest wrestler to ever live, in my opinion. So, you know, Curt is my hero and he is everything that, he's like my favorite wrestler. He's my hero. I've always wanted to strive to be him. Because he overcame a bunch of stuff and, came out on top. So, um, anyway, I wanted to let you know that next week we're going to watch along to the Curt Hennig and it's Mr. Perfect and Coco Beware match that was on Saturday Night Live. Saturday night's main event. Sorry about that. He wasn't on Saturday Night Live. But Curt would be hilarious if he actually went on Saturday Night Live. I think that would be great for him. Anyway, we shall see you next week. Again, we are going to watch along to the Coco Beware match. And then we're also going to watch 4 more promos. And when we start getting out of the promos, I'm going to show some stuff that I saw on X. So hopefully, we won't run out of, promos anytime soon, but because I do like going over those promos. A lot of them are, I think they're really cool promos. And like I said, I do have a song that AI created. I don't really like AI. I don't like using it, and I don't use it to edit my videos either. I really should because it probably would be easier. And it's not something I want to do personally. I just don't like using AI. Sorry, guys. But like I said, I do all my own editing. So if there is something like a boo-boo in there, I'm sorry. I do my own editing. But again, this song that I created, well, AI helped me create for Curt, it really makes you sit down and think that, Curt's no longer with us, but he will never be forgotten. And he deserves to be on that, pedestal because he was a great guy in real life. He was a great father, a great everything. And he is one of the best, I've always thought. Not one of the best. I always thought he was the best. um, and he is severely missed. So, anyway, thank you for tuning in. That's it for me, guys. Everything is in the description field. I just want to let everyone know real fast that we are going to do another episode of Black Magic Talk that is coming up. We did take a hiatus because it was Labor Day. So we will be back this weekend with another guest, Cassandra, but I forgot her last name. So look out for that. It will already be passed. So this will come out at the end of September. So that will already be passed. I'm recording this as of like September 4th. So if you want to stop this and go over there and listen to Cassandra's interview, you're more than welcome to do that. Otherwise, guys, everyone now will hear audio only and it will be shameless plugs. But everybody, I'd like to thank everyone for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me because, we're just trying to keep Curt's legacy alive here. We're just trying to remember the greatness of Curt Hennig. And to me, he's my hero. And I really wish I could be like him. I'm striving to be like him. Of course, he was perfect, so I have a long way to go. But anyway, I hope everyone has an awesome weekend and week, and I will see you back here next week for another episode of Curt Hennig Was the Best Changed My Mind. Until then, remember everyone, no one beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody. Okay, guys, this is where we're going to do some shameless plugs here. So the first shameless plug, if you could please go over to my other show, which is Black Magic Talk. I will put the links in all the description fields. If you could just kind of browse it, if you are not only a wrestling fan, but you like Wicca or paganism, and you'd like to learn more about it. We just did some recent episodes. So if you'd like to hop over there, just click the link in the description field. If you would like to give to the Black Magic Talk Patreon, that link will be in the description field. And again, if you would like to have a tarot reading on the show, you can DM me on X. My link for that X will be in the description field. If you would like to do one off the show, you can also just DM me and I will give you my rate. My co-host is Matt Collins. He can also give you a tarot reading on the show or off the show. If it's on the show, all you would have to do is become a Patreon supporter for $5 a month. You get all kinds of perks. And again, we can let you know when you can come on the show. And if you'd like to do it off the show, Matt can definitely give you his rating for doing tarot. The next shameless plug I would like to do is, of course, Pro Wrestling Talk will always be on Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It is scheduled to change, but Angel and I will let you know on the Wrestling X. So if you would like to DM us at any time, me and Angel, my link will be in the description field for my Wrestling X, and that is for Pro Wrestling Talk and also for this podcast, Curt Hennig Was the Best Changed My Mind. If you would like to give to the Patreon, I have for Curt Hennig Was the Best, changed my mind. Again, you can go and look in the description field. It should be there. I have $1, $3, $5, and $10. The other show is just $1, $5, and $10. Or no, I'm sorry, it's $3, $5, and $10, I think. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. But if you could give, thank you in advance. If you'd like to ask any questions for pro wrestling or Black Magic Talk, you are free to direct message me on X, or Angel, my host for Pro Wrestling Talk. Again, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday, unless it is scheduled to change, but we will definitely let you know beforehand. So, of course, this show, I'm going to do a shameless plug for this show. Again, $1, $3, $5, and $10 you can contribute on Patreon. If you would like to give on Cashapp, I will take donations on Cashapp, but direct message me on X if you would like to do that, and I will give you my handle. So if you have any questions like about the show or any technical questions, you can always direct message me on my X, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. The next shameless plug I would like to do is for Hardlands Media, Kit Cabello, someone I call a good friend of mine. Please check him out. He is Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central, and that would be 10 p.m. Eastern. So 9 a.m. Central, he is Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday, depending on when you can catch him in a good mood for a Saturday brunch. If he does do Saturday brunch, I usually am sleeping or at work, so but check him out. He's really good on politics, and I have the pleasure of calling him friend. Some more shameless plugs. If you could also subscribe to Angel in the Afternoon. He does a great job on politics as well. And that's Angel in the Afternoon. And he's usually on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday. That is also scheduled to change. If you have any questions about it, he'll usually let you know. And he will definitely, you can direct message him if you need to get a hold of him. The last one is Deconstructing. His name is Dave. I really recommend him too. He has a little podcast on YouTube. All you'd have to look up is Deconstructing Topics, and he does some really good stuff. I really recommend you guys check him out. Subscribe to everybody I just said here, and check them out. And remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody. Hey, Curt Hennig fans, hello and welcome all. Just want to give you some updates. I was able to get permission to use a Curt Hennig rap song from Impeccable Skills. Thank you so much for allowing me to use it on my show, all about Curt Hennig. I also am going to be having an outro song that was AI generated. I made it from scratch, but it's a country song about Curt Hennig. And actually, it made me cry. But I think it's a great one. And again, it was AI generated, so I don't think there's any copyright issues there. So either on Rumble, you guys will hear an intro and an outro. And of course, on YouTube, you guys will also hear an intro and an outro. Again, I did get permission from Impeccable Skills, and I will link him and his YouTube down in the description field if you have any questions for him, or you would like to see his rap song or hear it in its entirety. You can hop on over to his YouTube and check it out. I think it was pretty cool myself, and I'm very excited to use his work. Also, we have some great things coming up for Curt Hennig Was the Best. Again, the Kit Cabello and Angel episodes will be coming out very shortly, so stay tuned for those. And of course, we will be going back and forth between WCW for Curt Hennig and also for WWF, as we will be doing the match between Coco Beware and Curt Hennig himself. Thank you for being a patron supporter, Charlie Brown Politics. And remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody.
He walked into the ring, a legend set to soar. In the flashing lights you could hear the crowd roar. With a twinkle in his eye, a swagger in his stride, Curt Hennig, he was more than a star in their eyes. From the farms of Minnesota to the wrestling hall, he stood undefeated through it all. A father, a friend, a hero we'd see, perfect in the memories for you and me. He was Mr. Perfect, never missing a beat. With every match, he rise to his feet. Though he's gone now, a hero we'd see, perfect in the memories for you and me. In the quiet of the evening, stars shining bright, you'd hear tales of his glory, longing to the night. With a grip like of ice and a smile that gleamed, he lived every moment like out of a dream. His days in the sun and the nights in the cold, the stories of Curt never grow old. Remember the laughter, the battles hard fought, perfectly missed but never forgot. He was Mr. Perfect, never missing a beat. With every match, he rise to his feet. Though he's gone now, a hero we see, perfect in memories for you and me. He was Mr. Perfect, never missing a beat. With every match, he rise to his feet. Though he's gone now, his legend still